I think getting body is almost a gift in disguise if you're able to have an open mindset. If you have a bad mindset, you're like, no, I didn't want to get 3-0'd. Like, no. You learn, you adapt, and you get better. That's what's nice about it. But ignoring all of my little rants about how to get better at Smash Bros., we're going to see two fantastic people. We're going to see Riflip and Super Dan coming up now.
Oh, I'm excited for this, especially because I struggle with Yoshi so much, and I want to see what this specific Yoshi player can do, because I don't know what it is, but I feel like Yoshi has such immaculate spacing when...
and great horizontal mobility.
Exactly, and his frame data, I feel like is impeccable, because every combo, it turns into his combo. Even as Mario, or even like, I know I struggle with that a lot with playing Luigi, but especially because every time he's getting into a combo, let me just press A, and now your combo is mine, no you.
Yep. Going back to the old school Luigi days of those old Melee videos. And nice egg, but Dan smartly going to be saving his jump as a Mario main. You got to make sure that you save that jump, because his recovery, while it's not bad, it's also not good.
It's somewhere right in the middle there, I could say, but he definitely is immaculate with the spacing, even when it comes to recovering. And like I said, I was able to play him the first time ever, and just the first set, I noticed that his spacing is impeccable, because even when he messed up, I still wasn't able to capitalize it because he was a mile away from me.
Yeah, Dan likes to use a lot of those tools, especially like with Smash 4. You can use a lot of those tools as bait tools, where if you're spaced right, it can function more as a bait. Riflip is not going to be taking too much damage after Dan took that first stock after the up smash, and now he's going to be able to get a nice little up tilt to up smash. He didn't really stretch it. I know low percent combos can be a little different with Yoshi. I feel like he could have extended that a little bit more, but maybe just going for the guaranteed damage and seeing how Dan DIs it for future times.
Oh, absolutely. And I noticed that he did the up tilt to up smash. I wonder what characters that's true on. And I know Yoshi's up smash does hit on some platforms. I'm not sure if it hits on Pokemon Stadium platforms, but I definitely know it hits on Battlefield platforms. Are the heights different here? I'm not exactly 100% sure, but it seems that he's playing around even important stage control until right there. I wonder if and he can pull off any flood shenanigans here.
I would like to see it. I would like to see it, especially because Yoshi's mobility in the air is so good. That is not a good trade for Dan.
It was a trade. Get that some percent up there, but
the reason,
quite even.
But the reason I want to see it more, especially when it comes to Flood, if you can interrupt Yoshi's mobility, a lot of times you would see Mario's in Smash 4 do this as well. If you can interrupt their momentum a little bit and kind of change their trajectory, it does a lot of good of getting them out of their mindset and what they're planning on doing. And especially with Yoshi, that can go so well, because Yoshi really benefits from all that. Yoshi benefits in a lot of matchups from having superior horizontal momentum most of the time. I mean, maybe the only person that rivals it is Wario.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you can kind of interrupt that and get Riff a little on his back foot, then he can capitalize. Dan, especially a lot of Marios like Dan, like to really smell the fear in the water like a shark. And once he finds an opening, he just wants to get it for as much as he can.
Oh, I would agree 100%. And I like how every single stock right now here has been pretty close to a soft reset, both taking it without taking too much of a deficit here. Ooh, but looks like he's riding the cement to the top. Not quite going to get the up B, which would have been nice to see. Here we go. No.
Gets a little bit of them purple coins with a super jump punch. But one thing that I loved seeing from Dan there is you saw he got the up throw into the up air, and he never overextended. He seemed to know more about the Yoshi, and just he knows when he can neutral air out of it or use any aerials to jump out of it. And I love Dan's understanding of it and knowing that he can't extend until he gets a little higher percent. I think a lot of people in this game have a tendency to go for more combos than they can at low percents, but Dan showing his patience and showing that he's not going to overextend in this.
Yeah, and this matchup really shows that it really does pay off to get in that training mode and to lab out some of that frame data for your favorite character, because especially with these two, with such, what I feel like is immaculate frame data, because no matter what combo you're in, they both can try to nair out of it, and I've seen that multiple times this set already.
And I know
he's not dead. He's not dead. Okay, I thought he was at 162. He's not
gonna get hit with that day one Yoshi trick. What is that? This is Dan we're talking about, not just Dan, Super Dan.
Oh yeah, my brain mixed up the percents for a bit. Maybe at 170, that would have been some hardcore mashing you had to do to try that kind of act. But no.
Oh, they're playing so dangerous right now.
They are both hungry. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that was so smooth from Riflip. I believe Dan whiffed the forward smash, and that's usually, I don't want to say usually for every single time, but that can be seen as from a lot of Marios as almost a safe move, because Mario has a tendency to lean back and shift his hurt box at the same time. But Riflip knew was a outpatience that went above the fireball hitbox from the forward smash and then hit him with a forward air into up tilt.
Yeah, as soon as he hit that forward air, it was a clean confirm, and And honestly, who wouldn't have gone for that? Because I feel like it was a solid kill, a solid game one, very, very close. I don't think either player really has quite the momentum to ride. It's still head-to-head. They were both sweating because I know I was sweating watching it.
Now, it's very interesting to see that Dan chose Yoshi's as a counter pick. One of the things that you saw a lot, I mean, Dan can switch up his gameplay a lot, and I know Fireball isn't the best projectile, but he's showing, at least in this matchup, what he prefers to do is he likes to go for the close quarter boxing. He knows that he can go toe-to-toe with Yoshi's aerials, and again, he can just out-patient it and get his combos when he can. He doesn't need that space to move around, and it seems like Riff was using that space to his advantage more.
Yeah, and I see Dan here, the possible reason he could have picked this as a counter pick is, as you may have mentioned just previously, is he has a lot more room to play around here. It's a bigger playground of a battlefield. And plus, me personally, this is my first pick, but I do enjoy it because I like the platforms hanging right over the ledge.
Yeah.
It makes me feel safer because I'm a whiny baby and I like to run away.
I mean, you also have your up air extensions that you can get on the stage. Nice down air into down smash. You really don't see that combo from a lot of Marios.
Yeah, usually it's nair into down smash for Mario.
That was so smart from Riflip. That was...
Yeah. And if I were Dan, I would let go of shield too. It was either just get killed normally or get a shield break. And I was just like, I'd rather just get killed normally because I don't want to get styled down with a shield break. Even though when I'm in bracket, I don't tend to style shield breaks. I'm just like, I'm just going to hit you, get the stock, next.
Yeah.
Next song.
I love Riflip and how he's playing it kind of as can be confirmed as or called it hot cold in a way. He's doing such a great job of mixing in his aggressive options with more of a defensive option. That one, Dan was a little Dan read his jump and went underneath and got him with the anti-air up smash. But Riflip is mixing up his offense and defense just so well on Dan. And while Dan is still able to get his confirms like this, Riflip is just not letting him get more than that. Like he's getting the bread and butter stuff, but he's not getting. Oh my gosh!
Goodness.
Cut me off right there, Dan.
He was spacing him out perfectly in order to get all those combos. And every time he would hit him, you could tell his eyes were locked on what Riflip was doing. Every single time he hit, wait to do, react, wait, react, and eventually got the 4-0 to clean out the second stock with a pretty good lead here. Let's see if he can continue racking it up. 95% is not too bad. You can survive a couple hits, but let's see he's continuing racking it up. Can we get another spicy mama down air?
I would like to see it. Everybody loves to see it because it's a very satisfying thing to see. But that was, I believe Dan had that read too, and he thought he was going to be doing the air dodge on the stage. Maybe, or I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have happened there, but I think Dan is doing a better job of being in his head.
Excellent spot dodge.
Yeah, good knowledge of the matchup. And that was a flood that we wanted to see before.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned, especially it ended up setting him straight up instead of away and making him panic and gain such big stage control.
And you saw using the end leg of throwing the egg too.
And that was actually one of the first times that I've seen Dan use fireballs. It makes me wonder, if I use fireballs just while they're triple it now, and am I using fireballs on? I feel like I might. But right now it's battle stage control. He's finally going to clean out that second stock, and quite a bit to make up here, but it ain't over till it's over.
Dan has a solid league, but again, Yoshi can get a lot of damage up fast, especially with that downer. It does give you a lot of percent. Just going to be using nice up smash, almost at max spacing to get the game.
Reverse up smash. He took advantage of that Mario's big meaty head and got the very edge of that hitbox to clean out the second game, making it 1-1.
Do you think Dan ever gets a haircut?
I mean, if I can grow my hair out that long, that easily, and that.
You don't need a haircut. It's, I forget what the quote was. It was on some show. It was, my hair grows to the appropriate length and then stops growing.
Oh, yeah, so no one needs a haircut. You only need a haircut when you feel like you need it.
And I like the counter pick from Riff. He's going for a lot of ground from Dan to cover. Mario doesn't have the biggest hitboxes, and Yoshi can benefit a lot from the spacing, especially with Egg. Egg is definitely a better projectile than Fireball.
Oh, yeah, and we've been seeing that a lot from Riflip. Every time he gets a stock lead, he backs off. Not usually using eggs too much, but you can see he's maximizing the spacing with his aerials, and he's been doing it quite well, and that's how he was able to take game one. But let's see what happens here in game two. Him starting out with a slight deficit here, but like I said, Mario's combos can pop off, and so can Yoshi's, especially with nairs or forward airs into up airs, just like the first game. First game was cleared out. But who knows? One of my favorite levels here at Town City. How do you feel about this having the highest ceiling with the characters you play?
It's weird, but hey, we just gotta accept it because Sakurai gave it to us this way.
Yep, and we just gotta kiss his ring, and whatever he says goes.
And good up smash too. Riflip being a little too liberal with that egg usage, and Dan's going to capitalize on it.
Oh, it seems like he's been adapting quite well. This seems like a different Dan from the first game. Being able to read most of his options and being much more aggressive, because some people can't handle it. And by that I mean they can handle it but not handle it right away. And they're going to eat my own words because they're evening up to only a tiny 14.4% deficit. And let's see if we can go. Getting these Mario combos straight away with bread and butter, up air, up throw to up air, down air. Oh my god, I can't read.
All right, it's the and I like the attempt. If anything from Dan, that wasn't as much of a, at least in my term, at least in my mind, that wasn't as much of a practicality read because he would be able to get stage control more with the super jump punch. I think that forward air was more I'm in your head read at this point, and in game 3, a read like that goes so far. So Dan was going for the psychological damage with that forward air spike.
Yeah, you can see his patience is immaculate right now. He's like, I could be here all day, man. Camp on that ledge as much as you want. I'm gonna get you.
That was also so smart. If you guys didn't see that, when he was right about to land on that platform, almost forcing tech situation, Riflip was ready to get him with the forward air right there. If he would have did a tech in place or tech roll away, what Dan did to mix it up is he actually air dodged up and away to get out of that situation, and because of that, he was able to get back on stage now and is going to be able to finish off that stock. Dan playing so smart around this platform layout.
Yeah, up smash with Mario, not quite as good as Smash 4, but still, it's one of his better moves. And I would agree with all his patience and the way he's spacing out now. He's actually managed to outspace Yoshi, and there's
GameStop trade, baby. You got
and
that game for 60
like
bucks
that.
today.
Just like
yeah,
that.
you're only getting like $5, man. I'm telling you, that was a great trade from Riff. And because that, he's going to be in the third back air fourth. No, he tries to get the extension with the tilt, or might have been the missed input.
I feel like if he landed that one more back air there, that could have led into another back air to the stock. Who knows? But he read that roll back, and I thought he was going to go out there and be super duper aggressive, try to get in his head. But I don't know. Now it is dead even, and they're sweating. I'm sweating. I'm clenched. I don't know about you.
I don't know. I don't think they're really sweating. They look very composed, and honestly, I like the game face I've seen out of them. They know how dire the situation is, and they're composed. They still know the game plan, and they still know what their win condition is. Dan's going to get stage control with that back throw, making Riff try to get back towards stage. He's going to cover his landing with an egg, but he's going to be eating a back air, resetting the edge guard situation, but this time in favor of Riflip.
Yeah, and I'm really liking how their recovery mix-ups too. They have a good mix of aggressive recovery and air dodging to the stage. And I can never remember, I always forget that Yoshi can fade through the platforms.
Oh!
Yep, and that up
Dan
smash.
showing the knowledge and patience, knowing that he's going to jump and he's going to be able to get that out smash. That was a read I feel like Dan still had, but he was just waiting to pull the trigger. He knew it was coming, but great stuff from Riflip to keep it that close the entire time, and that Yoshi down special like he does it when Dan wasn't expecting it. He does enough of a time in between where it's a really good mix up and where it's not going to be easily countered, like easily spot dodged or whatnot. So